Welcome to my valued students. It's 2 days before the end of 2013. A new decade or a new year is upon us. I wanted to share some very valuable information with you, basically some tough love. I want to share my life experiences with you on how to make money, and I mean some serious money. I'm very successful at what I do. At the same time, I'm very lazy, which means I'm very motivated. I'm very ambitious. But when it comes to working, I let software do the work for me. Let me give you a little bit about my background. I'll be 55 next year, basically 10 years away from retirement. The thing is, I actually retired back when I was 42, about 12 years ago. But I continue doing what I do because I enjoy what I do, and I really don't work very hard. I put maybe 12, 15 hours a week in, and I can honestly say, and proud to say, I make well over, just doing web development, web applications, and consulting, I make well over $100,000 a month. My best month actually was a couple months back. I topped out at about $147,000 just doing web applications and consulting and web-related issues. Now, in addition to that, add in my reseller account for web hosting, I make about $18,700 in addition to what I just mentioned, about $18,700 a month doing web hosting. Now, to be fair, out of that fee, I pay about, what do I pay for my, I pay about almost $1,200 a month for web hosting. But out of that, I make $18,700, so do the math, it's not bad. So what I want to talk to you about is how easy it is to make money. I'm also going to share some of my failures with you. So let's get started here. Back when I was 11 years old, circa 1970, I was really ambitious. During the spring of that year, I decided to take a paper route. I took a paper route. A lot of my friends had paper routes. Well, going into the end of the summer, all my friends, who I considered friends at the time, which I no longer do, by the way, because they're lazy little SOBs, they basically all gave up their paper route because it was too hard, it was too much work. Well, let me tell you something. At the age of 11, by the end of that summer, I'd taken over 3 paper routes in the morning and 2 paper routes in the evening. The Star Ledger, New Jersey paper in the morning, and the News Tribune. Now, eventually, by the time I was 13, I had 3 routes in the morning and I had 4 routes in the evening. So I had 7 altogether, 1 home news, etc., etc. But here's the deal. By the time I was 13, I was making a little over $300 a week. I was almost making what my dad was making at the time. And again, this is going back to the 70s, so people didn't really make a lot of money. Actually, my dad was probably making, I don't know, $500-600 a week. But since I was living at home and had no expenses, and I was glad for that, by the way, I saved money, and I saved money, and I saved money. Now, most of my friends, unfortunately, I no longer call friends, only because, hey, I like to surround myself with motivated people. So I basically took over their routes, and at the age of 13 was making more than $300 a week. Not bad. Okay, saved my money, put myself through college, and asked my parents to help me. I helped myself. I really believe in helping yourself. I believe in helping people too, but I believe in helping people that help themselves. Now, flash forward, I had a lot of failures as well. I had a jazz club in Salt Lake City, Utah that didn't make any money. In fact, how do you make $1 million in the jazz club business? Very simple. You start with 2. Well, it wasn't quite that bad, but it was pretty bad. Okay, I had an advertising company that didn't work. I had a very successful training company here, software training, Adobe training, here in New York City in the FIS building for about 11 years. I had 35 people working for me, but eventually I closed that up, and I'll explain that in a second. So as I look back on my failures, and I also owned a carpet cleaning company, which I ran all by myself, made some very good money, and eventually sold that for a good profit. So out of all those businesses, the ones that failed are the ones that I relied on other people, either employees and rent and advertising and everything else. The businesses that I was successful at, the paper route, I consider a success. Jazz club, not a success. Advertising company, not a success. I owned a magazine for a while. That failed as well. But all those failures had something in common. I relied upon other people, meaning employees and advertising and health insurance and rent and everything else, etc., etc. So the money I make now is totally my money because I control what I do through software, through training, through consulting, and also the service I provide you, which is online software training. So here's what I want to share with you. If you're really interested in making money for yourself, don't work for somebody else. Work for yourself. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your day job. If you have a day job, you're paying the bills, you have a family support, that's great. Keep that job. What I'm referring to is my courses will help you supplement your income at first, but then make a lot more money down the road. Now, I just want to share something with you. I'm sure a lot of you are aware of the fact that there's a lot of free courses out there. And on occasion, just for marketing purposes, I might offer some free courses as well. I'm no longer going to do that in 2014 because I've come to the conclusion that those people that just collect free courses, as an example, let me just show you something here. I'm going to hide this person's name because I don't want you to see his name. But here's a person that's taking 91 courses. Okay. Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg. If I can go on Udemy and I can actually find people that are taking 300, 400 courses. Well, let me ask you something. How can you possibly be focused if you're basically juggling all those courses? The irony to the people that take all these free courses, which I like to call the free course hoarders, free has no value, which means they don't even watch the courses anyway. They basically collect these free courses. Now, I'm interested in helping people who want to help themselves. My courses will help you make money. So my focus for 2014 is not going to be the individual classes anymore. Here's my all access production bundle. Now you can see right here, I have a very highly rated course here. I don't have a lot of people in that course, and that's great. I don't want the masses to sign up for my all access course because I consider those my cream of the crop student. I give them a private email. I'm here to help them every step of the way, help them make money. I'd like to do the same for you. Now, I respect the fact that not everybody has $1,600 to spend on my all access course. Now, I stand behind this figure all day long. And you might say, well, that's outrageous, $1,600. Well, how many of you went to a four-year college? How many of you went to a graduate school? How many of you has master's and PhD degrees, and you're not making any money? You can't support your family. So how did that work out for you? Now, to be very candid, I'm not trying to relate myself or compare my courses to college because I think college is very important. We learn and grow socially through a college education. But there's a lot of expensive college courses on there online that you can spend $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000. I will 100% put my all access courses for $1,600 up against any of those college degrees, and you'll make yourself more money and work smart. So here's the deal. My battle cry is to teach you how this software thinks. Now, before I scare a lot of you away to think you're going to be spending $1,600, well, I do have people that spend $1,600 on my course and they make themselves a lot of money. In fact, I want to share a simple story with you. A couple of summers ago, at the time my niece was 14, maybe it was 3 summers ago, she was 14, and she wanted to do web design, web development. She knew that I taught that. Well, I sent her a coupon for $69. Now, some of you might say, well, wait a second, she's your niece. Why don't you just give her the course for free? Well, free has no value. As you can see, a lot of these people collect these free courses and they never watch them anyway because free has no value. So now she's starting her first year of college next year. She's graduating this coming year, this next spring. She's making herself some good money. She's making herself an average of about $2,500, $2,600 a month. Not bad for somebody that's still in high school. She basically develops maybe one web project a month. She's very happy. Her parents are definitely happy because she's banking that money. But it paid off. Now, to be very honest, as a thank you for doing so well, I bought her a very expensive Macintosh laptop that I gave her as a Christmas gift, so that was nice. But for those of you that think, oh, well, why would you charge your own niece? Well, because you need to respect money, you need to respect value, okay? Free has no value, just like one of the things I share when I teach my courses is how to make money. The last thing I want you to do is work for free. Now, doing volunteer work, hey, I do a lot of volunteer work. I do a lot of things for the homeless and inner city kids here in New York City. In fact, I spend a good chunk of change buying computers for inner city kids here in the city. So I do my part for that. I believe in giving back. But I don't believe in just offering something for free for the sake of being free. And any instructor, anybody that offers free, guess what? There is no free lunch. There's always some string attached to that. Now, if I offer a free course, it's because, yeah, I would like to think that my training is so good that you want to spend money. I'm not talking about a lot of money. Here's a good example of this. One of my courses, some somebody got a hold of one of my free bonus courses that I offered to students as a thank you, and they posted it up on a website called oddsbargain.au. It's out of Australia. I had almost 4,500, 5,000 people sign up for free for this course, and I was like, where did they get this coupon from? Then I thought, you know what? I'll just let it go. I'll let it go. Let's see what happens here. So out of those roughly 5,000 people that took free courses, I looked at their profile. They signed up for free courses all the time. That's all they did was free courses. They never watched any of them because we can tell who watches courses. The back end admin on Udemy enables us to see the progress of that particular student. So I found that very alarming that they would sign up for free, and I actually made offers for like $10, $12. You know, if you're not willing to spend $10 or $20, in fact, let me be very upfront with you. Out of those 5,000 people, we're talking 5,000 people signed up for a free course. I would have been happy to give them a bundle of courses for, I don't know, $10. Because 10 times 5,000 is a lot of money, isn't it? Yes, it is. So when a person basically signs up for free courses and that's all they ever take is free courses, you're doing yourself a disservice and you're doing the instructor a disservice. Because that's part of the reason why instructors need to charge $500, $600, $800, $1,600 for a course. Because they need to offset all the people that don't respect them enough to pay. Now, getting back to this all-access course for $1,600, you know, for some of you that sounds very expensive. But if you break that down, if you build one website, you paid for the course. Plus you have me that has your back. Now, I'm not asking you to pay $15.99 for my all-access course. If you basically sign up right now, you can get it for 58% off for $659. Now, for those of you that are ready to say, oh, I can't afford that either, let me tell you everything that comes with this course. We're talking about a lot of cool things for software and web hosting and everything else that's involved. Now, here's the other thing I'm going to do. For those of you that have old coupons that maybe I sent out over the summer or maybe going into Thanksgiving, if you have old all-access coupons for my all-access course, I will still honor those coupons until midnight, December 31st, which is basically New Year's Eve, New York City time. So if you have an old coupon that's actually a little bit less than this, I will honor that coupon. Now let's get back to reality here and understand why this is so valuable. Now again, for those of you that are thinking, well, even $600 is way out of your budget. Well, it may be. So here's what I'll enable you to do. You can actually team up with a coworker, family member, friend, and I'll actually allow you to basically divide up that cost so you can actually get your own access code. So if you divide that by 3, divide it by 4, divide it any way you choose. Now, in addition to that, you're going to get a lot of perks. Now, these perks are basically 1 per purchase, so I can't give you 5 copies of software. It doesn't work that way, okay? But most of the software is multi-site licensed, so therefore you can put it on multiple sites. So for that price that I just shared with you of $659, I think that was the price, wasn't it? Wasn't it $659? Robert, aren't you paying attention to your own prices? Of course, I was kidding. So for $659, here's what you're going to get. Now, before again I scare you away, I do have a lesser package that basically is a great way to make money with software, but it's a lot less than that. So just bear with me and listen to what I have to tell you. Now, before I go into this, I just want to share another story that just happened to me a couple days ago here in New York City. I was over at Williams-Sonoma the day, actually 2 days after Christmas. I guess that was Friday. Okay, now, I've been to the store quite a bit because I like their little peppermint bar candy and their hot chocolates. I go there a lot every year for the holiday season. Let me share with you a story. I'm a very helpful, very giving person, but sometimes people can't even get out of their own way. So here's a good example. The line for checkout at Williams-Sonoma is basically going down and around, circling around and going out into the mall. That's how long this line is. But I know through my experience that I can go upstairs and there's a register upstairs and there's typically 1 or 2 people. Well, my girlfriend and I did just that. We took our purchase, we went upstairs, and lo and behold, we were the only person in line. We basically zipped right through. So when I came down, I thought, hey, I'm a helpful guy, right? I looked at all the people in line and says, hey, hello, there's a checkout line upstairs. There's no line, there's no waiting upstairs. Now, why the employees didn't tell them that is beyond me too. They all looked at me like I was like insane, like I was some terrorist. they looked at me like I was out of my mind. So I thought, well, maybe they didn't hear me. So I basically waved my hands and says, hello, if you're waiting in line, and I held up my packages and said, there's a register right up these stairs, and there's no line. I think maybe one or two people basically understood that and basically made their way to the stairs. The most of them looked at me like I was out of my mind crazy and like, leave me alone. So it just goes to show you, when you try to help people, whether it's with inexpensive coupons, how they don't take advantage of it. They can't even get out of their own way. So let's get back to this deal I'm offering you for $659, all access, which means you're going to get all my future courses. Now, here's my focus for 2014. I'm going to focus more on topics, meaning then, rather than teach you, say, how to use Adobe Dreamweaver or how to use Adobe InDesign, I'm going to say, we want to build a brochure. What tools do we need to build this brochure? Maybe we need to scan in a photo or actually color correct a photo with Photoshop. Maybe we need to create a logo with Illustrator. So whether you're doing web application or motion graphics or film editing, most of my courses for 2014 moving forward, which is part of my all access package, by the way, is going to be focused more on topics, how to get it done. What tools do I need to get it done? Now, in addition to that, I'm going to be offering more sales and marketing technique of how to basically build and make money, how to close the deal, how to get more clients. In fact, let me share something with you for free right now. There's a huge market. Part of the reason I can make over $100,000 a month just to do web design and development, well, first of all, be honest, I've been doing this since '95, so I have a big client base. I am here in New York City. But more than half of that money goes towards rebuilding sites that were done by horrible designers or horrible developers. I cannot share with you enough how many horrible websites there are in your very neighborhood. In fact, maybe the company you're working for has a horrible website that needs to be redesigned. So I can't express enough the huge market out there of all these people who have horribly built non-responsive web designs, which means they're not resizing for iPhones or iPads. In fact, they don't even have a mobile app. So that's a huge market. So in addition to the great training I'm going to offer you, I'm going to also share with you my techniques of how to get it done, how to close the sale. Now, let's talk about all the perks and freebies. Well, it's part of the package here. So you're going to get the unlimited version of the Ultimatum theme, which is part of my All Access Pass. You're going to get the $125 Pro license, which you can put it on as many websites as possible. That's $125 it would cost you. Now, I'll be very honest with you. You can get a mighty deals and maybe you can get that software for $55, $52, something like that. Basically, it's going to cost you money. Okay? Now, this is also one of my favorite WordPress plugins from a company called ThemeOver. Now, if you go to ThemeOver, actually if you go to themeover.com/microthemer, what this does, it's really cool. There's a little video here. I'm going to actually be doing videos on this myself. But what it does, it simply enables you to point and click visually on your WordPress website, whether it's Ultimatum theme or any WordPress website you're doing, and customize the CSS. I'm going to be releasing a course on this, which is part of my All Access Pass in January. This is also included. Now, it's the standard version, not the developer version. The only difference is this isn't limited for domains. You can actually throw some of your client domains in there. Don't tell the developer I said that, by the way. Okay, so I'm going to throw this in. Okay, so that's $45. Okay. Now, in addition to that, and this is a really cool, you definitely want this, from a company called WebAssist. This is something called Power Messenger. Power Messenger goes for $99. Now, maybe there's coupons out there, I don't know, maybe you get it for $69, maybe you get it for $59, I don't know. Probably they're out there, who knows? Okay, this is included in my All Access Pass. Okay, this is Power Messenger. This is a complete, in fact, they have a little video here. I'm going to be offering videos for this as well. Okay, so that's Power Messenger, which is going to take care of all your email marketing online. It's point and click, it's PHP MySQL based. It's included in my All Access course. So I highly suggest, that's another reason to get this. See, when I cut deals with software manufacturers and software developers, first of all, I don't go out there and just buy anything. I only use and recommend things that I can get a good deal on for my students. More importantly, things I use myself more importantly than that, things that you're going to benefit from and make money from. And speaking about that, you need to make money doing e-commerce websites. So, but also part of the all access deal is this little extension from my absolute favorite eCart extension from WebAssist called eCart. Now, here's a little secret here. I think the second or third week of January, they're updating this to eCart 6. You're going to get the upgrade for free. Now, let me share something with you. This is a very powerful feature. This takes care of everything. Point and click eCart. You can charge easily $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 from an eCart solution, custom built. You do your own templates, your own themes. This is all part of my all access pass. Now, again, this goes for $199. Now, let's be a candid again. Let's say you got this, I don't want a deal for, maybe you got this for $150. Heck, maybe you got it for $99. Who knows? But the way that WebAssist works, even if you bought this product today, it's going to cost you $99 for the upgrade. That's just how they work. That's business. So you're going to get a free upgrade. You're going to get the brand new eCart 6 when it comes out mid-January for free when you take my all access course. Okay. Now, these are all the courses I'm talking about. Right now, there's 36 of them and growing. And if you know anything about me, I only teach courses that are going to make you money. As an example, I no longer teach Flash because Flash is not the industry standard anymore. It's not, just not. I love Flash. I used to make a lot of money with Flash, but it doesn't work on iPad and iPhones, etc., etc. There's ways around it, but I'm not going to focus on it anymore. I'm focusing more on Adobe Edge and jQuery and JavaScript. Okay, same thing. This is the reason I don't teach Quark Express. Going back 5 years ago, Quark Express was the industry standard. So if you take a course of me, be assured that it's something you can make money with. I don't teach waste of time applications. I teach things you can go out there and make money with. I share with you the same exact techniques I use to make money. So basically, you're paying for my service. Do you want to learn how to play guitar from your neighbor's kid for $30 an hour, or do you want to learn from Jimi Hendrix? Now, when it comes to playing guitar, I do play guitar. I certainly don't consider myself Jimi Hendrix. But when it comes to software, absolutely. Adobe software and everything I teach, absolutely 100%. I am the Jimi Hendrix of that. Because here's the deal. This is what separates me from any other instructor out there. I involve you in the thinking process. And I got this little thinking process from somebody named Benjamin Franklin. And you might say, Benjamin Franklin, what does he have to do with software? Well, Benjamin Franklin, just like Leonardo da Vinci, in addition to being great thinkers, and that's what I do, I involve you in the thinking, he said something very profound, which I use as a motto for my think, learn, earn whole way of thinking. Benjamin Franklin said, if you tell me, I'm going to forget. If you teach me, I'll try to remember. But if you involve me, I will learn. And that's what separates my training boys and girls, gals and guys, people from New Jersey, is that I involve you in a thinking process. So don't think it's all the same. Don't think, oh, why do I want to pay for this guy's software? I get it for free on YouTube. Well, I do some YouTube stuff too. Okay? Which brings me to another story. A couple years back, this nice little girl from India, I think maybe at the time she was 15 or 16 years old, she saw my videos on YouTube and she wrote me this very nice letter saying how it's helped her quite a bit. And she wishes she could afford my courses. Well, I guess a couple weeks later, I had $29 show up in my PayPal account, and I was like, well, that's really nice. And I found out that it was from this girl in India. Well, you know what? I kept her money. And you might say, oh, you bastard. This poor girl in India, you kept her $29. Absolutely. Let me finish my story. Well, I got very nice letters from her, and eventually the next month, I got another. Was it the next month? It was maybe about 5 weeks later. I got another $29 in my PayPal account. Now, I realize in certain parts of the world, $29 is a lot of money, especially in parts of India. I respect that. I understand it. Well, to cut to the chase, 7 months later, she was still sending me $29 a month. Okay? Now, here's what I did for her. Okay? I not only eventually gave her my all-access pass, I actually bought her a laptop, gave her free web hosting for life. I didn't give her her money back, by the way. I told her to take that knowledge that she got and teach the rest of the people in her village, in her community. okay? Because I want to teach her the value. She respected me enough, and I'm sure that $29 was a lot for her, okay? Now, I could have just given it back to her, but I think would have been almost insulting, because I have some Indian friends here in the city, and they says, look, if somebody goes through and gives you that money like that, don't insult them, give the money back. So I wound up buying her a laptop and gave her free web hosting for life. And I like to say now, I can honestly say now, I should say, is that she's making herself, a good $4,500, $5,000 a month. Not bad. Okay, not bad, with the skills that I taught her. So for those of you out there, I'm going to share one other story before I go and finish up on the other things that are including my All Access Pass. I guess about 3 weeks ago, I was contacted by somebody where he wanted to take a certain course. I said, here's a coupon for $19, and he emailed me back, I got a family, I can't afford $19. And I thought to him, wow, no disrespect, but why do you have a family if you can't even afford $19 for a skill set that's going to help you? And I'm not talking about $190, I'm not even talking about $50. Really? $19, and it wasn't important enough to you to scrape money together or to wait till the next month? Really? $19 was going to ruin your life? Hey, I have a lot of empathy for people, but I don't have empathy for people who aren't willing to help themselves. Again, getting back, there's no free lunch here. So before this turns into a infomercial here, let me also share what you're going to get for that fee. So my All Access course, $15.99, you're going to pay $6.59, and you're going to also get 3 years of web hosting, reseller web hosting. Now, this comes with all the cPanel bells and whistles. It comes with everything you need. One-click WordPress setup. Everything that cPanel comes with is going to come with your web hosting plan. Now, that could easily run you $150 for it's going to give you 30 web accounts, no domain names, by the way, 30 web accounts for 3 years. That alone should go for $500, okay, easily. Now, if you do the math on that, I'm not going to do this for you, but if you basically divide, even if you divide the $659, divide it by 36 months, divide it by 30 people, divide it by, that's how much it's going to cost you per month for web hosting. Now, for those of you that don't think you can make money off web hosting, if you only charged a person $5 a month, okay, let's think about this, $5 a month, that's $60 a year. You have 10 clients, that's $600. You paid for the course right there just with my web hosting, okay? So for those of you that don't think this is a bargain and a value, I hate to disappoint you, but you're shooting yourself in the foot. Now, for those of you who under any circumstances, as great as a deal that this is, you just can't afford $659. Even if you slice with 3 of your friends, you still can't do it. I understand that. I get that. So here's what I have for you. Okay, for $99, and if you want, you can split that with a friend. Yeah, don't split it with 2 friends. You can split that with a friend or coworker. For $99, I will give you 1 year web hosting, up to 10 WordPress accounts, not reseller accounts. Plus, you're going to get this themer, which is $45. Plus, you're going to get my Ultimatum theme course. Plus, you're going to get my Adobe Edge web animation course. Plus, you're going to get my Adobe Illustrator course for web graphics. Plus, you're going to get my Adobe Fireworks course, plus the Pro license for $125. You'll get that for $99. Now, if you're not wise enough to pick one of these 2 deals, then I really can't help you. I can't. I can't even begin to help you if you're not wise enough to figure out that if you want to make money, it's all out there. You just have to go and get it. But you have to have the skills. You have to work smart. You have to work intelligently. Okay? Now, the number that I quoted you of making over $100,000 a month, that's absolutely true. Okay? But in addition to that, between online training alone, Udemy is part of what I do. I've been doing online training long before Udemy. I have my own portals and everything else. Okay, I make well over $100,000 in that. So combine the over $100,000 of that, plus the over $100,000 of training, plus my roughly $18,000 of web hosting, and it's not always, sometimes $108,000, sometimes $122,000. So to just round it off, $200,000 a month, do the math. That's $2.4 million a year. And I don't work more than 20 hours a week, okay? And I'm totally self-taught. I didn't read a book on software. I didn't take a software class. In fact, I got into the whole Adobe software development because of my jazz club, which basically was a failure. I lost money and went out of business. Because every time I made a flyer or wanted to put an ad in the paper, I had to pay money, $30, $50, $100, $500, posters, thousands of dollars. And a friend of mine said, why don't you get yourself a Mac and teach yourself desktop publishing? And I was like, what's desktop publishing? What's a Mac? And the first program I taught myself was MacWrite and then PageMaker and then eventually Illustrator in 1987. So in 85, 86 is when I touched my first computer. At the age of 85, I was 26 years old. So if I can do this, I absolutely assure you, you can do this with my help. If I can do this with no help, I have a degree in political science. That and a Metro card will get me on the subway. Okay, so I don't want to turn this into a long-winded 10-minute fight. I don't know how I've been going on this, but I just want to overemphasize the fact that there's plenty of money out there. It's there for the taking. It's like picking apples off a tree. Now, I've been with the same girlfriend for 20 years, love her to death, and she gets on my case sometimes to say, well, how come you're not making these companies out there making $100 million? How, you know, quite frankly, I'm not that ambitious. I do have friends that make 50, 60, 80, $100 million. They work, they work around the clock. They don't take trips. I enjoy life. I enjoy my life. I work less than 20 hours a week, and I'm making over $200,000 a month. I can't even imagine more money than that. I have more money than I really know what to do with. So again, my friends that are worth 50, 60, I have friends that are worth well over $150 million. But they work like the Dickens. They're 24/7. It's nonstop. What? Enough is enough. Now, in closing here, I'm sure most of you, I'm not expecting you to get to the point of making $200,000 a month. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm sure most of you would enjoy. Let me pause this for a second, just 1 second. Sorry about that. I had to pause my the little mail icon in the bottom. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was talking about making money. So if you take my all access course, because you really want to be the jack of all trades, when your client comes to you, you want to say, yes, I can. Can I build a brochure? Yes, I can. Can you basically edit a film for me? Yes, I can. Can you do some motion graphics? Yes, I can. Can you do a business card? Yes, I can. Web application? Yes, I can. So if you limit yourself, and I have a lot of you say, well, I don't want to get into web development. I just want to design logos. Well, good luck with that. There's no real business out there for just designing logos. If you limit yourself in that thinking, first of all, it's very myopic to think that way, but you want to have a passion. You want to make yourself enjoy it. You want to make what you do enjoyable, and this is very enjoyable. Now, to explain to you as far as a student base here in New York City, I no longer do one-on-one training or group training. All my training is online. But my student base that consisted of anywhere from people who waited tables with no skills at all to thoracic surgeons and heart and brain surgeons. Now you might say, well, wait a second. Why would a brain surgeon come to you to learn Adobe Illustrator? Well, they go out on the lecture circuit. Rather than sit and explain the vena cava and the left ventricle and the aorta and all that stuff to a layperson, it's simpler for them to do it themselves. I don't care what your background is. Flash back to 20 years ago, desktop publishing was a skill to have. That's still rather important, but web development is where the money is. My name is Robert Farrell. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you're wise enough to take advantage of what I'm offering you. I'm offering you my support. When you can't close that deal, I'm going to help you. When you're having trouble with a website, I'm going to help you. When you need ideas for logos or building that business card or display point of purchase, I'm going to help you. If you're an all-access student, okay, you're going to get special treatment with my all-access course. So I'm here to help you every step of the way, okay? But you have to start by helping yourself. And if you think for a second collecting all these free courses is the answer, let me know how that's working out for you right now. I want to help you. I want to help you make money. And for most of you, I would go out on a limb here, but I would imagine if most of you made an extra, I don't know, $800 a month, can you use an extra $800 a month? So don't go nuts and think you're going to quit your job tomorrow. Let's be practical about this. If you built one website a month, if it took you a whole entire month to get the client, close the deal, and you made that website for $1,500, well, you didn't have to buy something and resell it, right? Because you have reseller hosting. So that's a profit center for you right there. So even if you had to spend a couple weekends, every day Saturday for 4 weekends in a row, that's $1,500 for a website, okay? Simple money. I'm going to show you how to get those sales. I'm going to show you how to close the sales. I'm going to show you not only how to work smart with your software, but how to make money every step of the way. My name is Robert Farrell. I want to make 2014 very lucrative and enjoyable for you. Thank you very much for being here. And I can't offer this deal to everybody. It does expire December 31st, which is, if you're in Australia, you don't have much time. So I think it's tomorrow today, right? Right. You guys are 14 hours ahead, I think, on the east coast of Australia. So good day, mate. Carpe Diem 2014. Definitely take advantage of one of these packages. You'll be glad you did. Now, if you buy a package, and you want your friend, you don't want the web hosting, hey, sell it to your friend, give it to your client, do whatever you want with it, because you're going to come way ahead of the game. Again, thanks for being here. Talk to you soon. And definitely, I'm going to help people who help themselves. Carpe Diem 2014.